Hello. How's it going? Whew. I have a little bit of some kind of cold. It's my third or fourth day. That's how I'm doing. It's not terrible, but it's not. It's mostly I feel very tired. I have a little bit of phlegm. I had a sore throat the first day. And now I just feel kind of tired. It's not COVID. It's none of that. But, here I am. It's Monday, 1:36. I don't got anyone in. I'm waiting. I have noticed there's a real lag between StreamYard and being live on YouTube. I'm live on YouTube by now, but I've been noticing there's about a 20-second lag in between the two. So let's go to YouTube now, my account, and make sure it says upcoming. Hey, Kathy, there you are. Why does it say upcoming? There I am. Here I am. So I get to check if I'm glitchy. How's it going, Kathy? I have a little bit of a cold, but it's not. It could be a lot worse. I've been through a lot worse than this. So yeah, there's about a 20-second lag. So welcome to anyone else who is coming in. My name is Lucinda. This is my channel, Fantastic Finds. It's a play on the word fantastic finds, right? I think that's obvious, but it might not be. Monday is my new day instead of Wednesdays. Wednesdays never worked well for me, and then I don't know what happened with my my partner. Hopefully, she'll reach out to me soon and let me know if she wants to do Wednesdays or join me on Mondays or another day, or I don't know. But in the meantime, I'm good. I'm here. I'm running. I'm from North Carolina. That's where I was born. But I live in the San Francisco Bay Area. That's where I ship from. Occasionally, I'm up in Mendocino County. Shipping is the same, although I almost always ship from here, even if I hold sales up there at my homestead. I use PayPal and I use Pirate Ship. Just like everyone. I do 2-week build boxes. That saves me time on invoicing and saves you if you keep coming back and finding things you like on shipping. If you ever want something immediately, you need to email me. It's right down there. It's also in my channel description, and say, I don't want to wait 2 weeks. Please invoice me and get it out as soon as you can or immediately. And I will do my absolute best to make that happen. I currently have, I think, 3 people that I need to invoice and then ship their boxes out from my last 2-week build-a-box. And that is because I'm sick and my father had an emergency the day I came back down. But that'll be done by tomorrow. As soon as I get paid, they'll be shipped. Today is Monday's mod styling. So I bring a mixture of household, vintage and antique, and jewelry. And I wanted to start trying to do a themed Mondays mod. Mod is just standing for vintage here, which is probably a bad use of the word because really that's more MCM. But I want to start doing a theme of items. So today I have done my best, if you saw my preview, and if not, here we are, to put together a mostly MCM with a little bit of 50s into 70s crossover so that we're staying in an era. And that includes the household items and the jewelry that I'm bringing for the most part. I've tried to make it all have a theme such that if you are decorating or you collect in this era, you know that that's what I'm bringing today. And I hope my preview showed that, and my description. Okay. So the only other thing you should be aware of, well, two. One, if you bid on and win anything today, and I don't know you yet, I'll get to know you. I will need your information, your YouTube name, your real name, your shipping address with zip code, and your PayPal email address before the sale is over, or that item will go back up for sale. Cassandra, hola, how's it going? How is it going? And then, what was the other thing? There was that. Oh, and I don't do recaps. I don't do recaps ever, unless I'm with another reseller on their channel or on my channel, and that's what they would like to do. Then I will do a recap. Otherwise, I don't. So if you come in late, you can drop in in that chat what you saw in the preview that you would like me to show. You can go to your settings and put it on ×2 speed and run through and see what I've already brought and put it in the chat. Ask me if it's sold. Or you have 5 days after this sale to claim an item by emailing me. Okie dokie? Okie dokie. So with that said, I'm going to get started. I hope everyone's healthy. Healthy. Like I said, I have a little bit of a cold. So if I'm a little blah, I am. I am. I had a early doctor's appointment that I had to, my dad had an early doctor's appointment that I needed to take him to. So, and then I just ate a little bit of breakfast and here I am. So this first item, or their items really, starts at 18. And thank you all for being here. Please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, think about it. It's free to you and it helps my YouTube algorithm, as we all say constantly. Okay, so these are European, I believe, likely Swedish, blown glass birds. This is the mama or the daddy, you choose. It's up to you to decide, with a very blue-black coloring in the head, mostly clear body. Here's the pontal. It's very smooth. It looks as though it has, that's tag residue that can be washed off. The tails are pinched. Here's a little point from the tools when they stretch it. And here is a baby. I can't use my left hand. Here is baby. Single solid tail instead of the double one, but they are the same. Blue black head. Here's its little wings. It's really cute. There's the bottom. Here they are together. Thank you, Cassandra. I'm a birder, so I love birds. I actually bought 2 pairs of these so that I could keep one and I could sell one. And so see how big the baby is? The baby's probably 1.5 inches long. And mommy is about 3 inches, 3.5 inches long and 3 inches tall. And if, and they start at 18. And these are probably from the 90s. They could be older They possibly could be newer, but I do not believe so. And they are likely Swedish. Okay. So they're going down. You've never seen, yeah, they're Kathy, they are look up Swedish blown glass birds. Swedish or Sweden or Norway. This item, no, they're different. That is correct. That's why I picked them up, because that's exactly how I felt, was the pooched in eyes and that beautiful coloring in the head, and then the whole thing. Okay, this starts at 24. This is not vintage nor MCM 50s, 70s style, but it's really cool, and it starts at 24. It is a fluorite wand, and this one is really good. The purples and the aqua blue green in this tower and all the inclusions. It's got a lot going on, and that right there, see, there you go. Because of its natural inclusions and the way it grows, it's got a lot of glitz and glam. It's a really, really beautiful fluorite tower. I love the colors. It's about 4 inches tall. I've started collecting these, all different minerals, and putting them all around the house. It is 6-sided, comes to a very nice point. Oh, look at that. There's my price tag. I never do that. So, and based on that, the price is actually going down. Like I said, I have a cold. So, and I had to get up really early to take my dad to the doctor. And I just wrote out my price list really quickly. And I was under the impression I paid more than that. So that is a retract. I don't, I would and I do feel terrible asking that much money. I would never do that. I would never buy something for $10 and ask you to pay more than double what I paid. Not unless it was just something I got a screaming deal on and it was really worth it. I would never do that. So excuse me, this starts at 14. Would never. Again, forgive me. I don't do that. So I love that right there. Okay. I'm going to put it down and move on from that. I'm going to probably go, Fridays is a day where I do like a show and tell and I talk a lot. I'll do some talking today, some kind of education, some discussion of makers, marks, etc. But I'll probably go a little faster than I usually do conversationally because I have a cold and I just have that, little bit of ick. I love this guy. And this is totally MCM. Kathy, I know. He's just a little wooden carved hound dog. Oh my Lord. He is definitively, this is something they started doing at the end of the MCM period. And of course, prior carving, wood has always been around, but it was also very popular in the 70s. And someone spent a lot of time. He weighs nothing. He's like some kind of fur. Someone spent a lot of time detailing this guy out. He's in, look at him. I loves him. I just look at his feet. They don't make, we're starting to make wood items a little bit more. Look at his, here's his face. We're starting to make wood items again out of wood that can be reused. Other countries make things out of wood, but here in America, we don't do it as often because all the redwood and everything we were carving back in the 60s and 70s it's not sustainable resource to use as tourist attractions. So I think he's delightful. I think he belongs on anyone's table. Thank you, Cassandra. I think he's adorable. And he has that huge hound dog mouth. He's like, back to the days of, well, I won't say that. I'm not going to say what I was just thinking. Anyway, he is 5.5 inches tall. I love him. There he is. Yeah. Yep. For hunting. And 3.5 inches tall. Wide. 5.5 inches tall, 3.5 inches wide. And I had him in this. Where did it go? This was a use. They just stood alone, and they're just a little trinket. Reminds me of tramp art, right? And quite honestly, he could be really old tramp art, and I'm missing the mark entirely just because he's carved everywhere. This took a lot of time. So he can be a ring holder. He does stand up. I can't show you on my computer. Well, maybe. He stands up. There you go. So this adorable little guy is $10. He weighs nothing. He probably weighs an ounce, if that. So think about him. I don't do recaps, y'all. It's just too hard. Okay. Thank you, everyone who's here. Yeah, I have, Kathy, I have a lot of neighbors who have hounds, bird dogs, dogs that will tree the mountain lions and the bears we have up in my valley. And, of course, we have a lot of sheep dogs because my valley used to be logging, apples, and sheep, period. So we have a lot of sheep still, and we have a lot of sheep dogs. And every year at the county fair, I go watch the sheepdog trials. It's a lot of fun. Those dogs are so smart. Okay, let's get into some jewelry. $28. This is going to start at $28. I picked this up recently. Some of you may recognize it. Others may not. I love it. Someone took this very old piece of abalone mother of pearl shellacked on a wood disc. Actually, excuse me, that's not wood. That is not wood. Okay, that is not wood. But then I would have, okay, so I have to say, I presumed this was wood. It's very lightweight, this piece of black. But that leaves me with a quandary of, is it another stone? Is it a very thin piece of ceramic? I have no idea. Here's the pendant. That's interesting. I assumed it would be wood. And maybe it is wood, and it's just when I tap on it, there's such a heavy shellac that's what I'm tapping on, and that would make a heck of a lot more sense. And then it's on this really nicely bronze colored. That is not, it is bronze. Bronze colored, wrapped, beaded necklace. It closes with a mother of pearl button. Let me show you what it looks like on Dolly. This is, I love the shellacked lucite look. Oops, that's backwards. In anything. Any mother of pearl abalone shellac from the 50s and 60s. I love it. I think it's beautiful. And this color is perfect. It's a short one based on the collar size. I will give you a measurement in a minute. I'm going to think that the pendant is going to hit right about here if I were to put it on. Let me give you a measurement. Oh yeah, Jack Russell Terriers. Those are some animals. Very smart and clever, but sneaky little guys. They got a lot of energy. So it is 9 inches on each side, and the pendant is 2 inches. 2 inches. So 9 plus 2, 11. So 11 inches. Yeah, it's going to come to right about where this is. And then the pendant is going to be down to about here. So it's going to be just a nice, not on your neck, but right below your neck. And then the pendant coming down to right about here. So it just fits right in here really nicely. It's a really beautiful piece. And again, I'm sure this was not original to this bottom piece, but they did the pairing really nicely. Okay, it's going down. Thank you for looking. Let's do another jewelry piece. And, you know, as I go along, this is how I do this, y'all. Thank you for being here again. I just pull pieces. I put in a price for the jewelry. I don't write it down. I write down the household. And either someone's interested or they're not. And I reserve the right to bring things back at a different price at any time if it's not claimed at this sale. So that's why I don't write all my jewelry stuff down and do all that. I just I don't find that it's worthwhile with the amount of subscribers that I have at this point. It's easier to just I can always check my live chat when I go back if there's a discrepancy or I don't remember. And if someone's interested, they're interested. And if they're not, they're not. Now, I love this necklace and I really want to show it to you. The one thing that I don't like about this being an invisible style necklace is every single time I put it down, it tangles. No matter how I lay it down, no matter how I try to store it. And so I mean, that's not a good selling point, right? That's like, why are you saying that? Don't say that. No one will buy it. Well, it's the truth. And if it's something that would frustrate you, then keep it on a mannequin, wear it all the time, because it frustrates the bejesus out of me. Okay, here we go. It's a beautiful piece. My glasses are slipping off. It is look at the quartz crystal down there. In this beautiful silver wrapped in these blown white beads. Here's the crystal. Look at that. That's real rock crystal. Then they put one of these crystals on it. Here's more of the rock crystals up here. More of the silver foil. I'll put it on Dolly in a second. a kind of copper tone with cinched metal findings to hold the beads on. It is short. Here is it's modern. It is a vintage look. There is the clasp. So if I was to put this on, let's do this. The bottom hits right here. So this is probably going to be about 16 inches at its lowest. And again, that's probably 14 and 15. I will show it on Dolly. I will give you a length. I'm going to put the clasp back together here. I got to tell you, just be prepared. It's a beautiful necklace. It's contemporary. The rock crystals and the white beads with the silver foil are absolutely gorgeous. But do note that unless you store it on something like my Dolly, my little necklace bust, it's going to tangle every time you take it off. It untangles easily. It's just I get a little impatient with all of that. So this starts at 16, and I appreciate it. I appreciate what's going on here. Okay, let's put that down. And I will say again, in case you came in late, let me put this one over here because it always tangles. If you saw my preview and you're here for just one in particular item, drop it in the chat and I'll bring your item up. Okay. So this item starts at 38. It is a necklace. I'll start with it on Dolly. This is Dolly. Start with it on Dolly. It's gorgeous. I don't know if calling these lamp work is right. I think lamp work is more of the gold painted fritz work, random design. These are more of a blown glass with the flowers painted inside, more like reverse painting, but perhaps lamp work is also the correct term here. I'm going to turn out that light behind me real quick. Flocasso, hello, welcome in, Frank. Let me turn this off. I think that's too bright. I don't like it. And it may be that right there. So this, yeah, that's better. Has the sea greens, the dark blues. There's light blue colors. There's a black bead. And in between are silver spacers. Am I showing up? Yeah, there's like a 20-30 second lag to YouTube. That's terrible. Here is the clasp. This is some large, just silver tone beads. Here is a close-up of these. These beads are stunning. Look at them. They're encased. There's the word. I have a cold. Sorry, y'all. They're encased. Look at that. They're so pretty. Oh, my God. And they are glass. They are heavy. This is not an unheavy necklace. Look at it. I say that a lot. If you come to my channel, I say that a lot. Look at it. It's beautiful, but it is. Here's the pink. See all the different, there's like a periwinkle blue. This Here's the black one. And each one is hand done. So each bead is different. The flowers are not static. They're encased, painted. So this would be a blue glass bead, painted, and then it's encased in clear glass. All right. It is gorgeous. I'll give you a link. Thank you, Frank. I love this. I have a rule. I can keep one thing out of 10. And lately I've been keeping quite a bit. And I bought this for myself. And then I was like, no, I can't. No, I can't. I can't. So it is 12 inches on each side, which makes it a total of 24 inches. So, well, let's put it on. I can always do the clasp later. And I should have worn a lower shirt to give you a better idea. But it is just, it's elegant, it's fancy, and it's also just really simple and plain all at the same time. All at the same time. And these are made in Italy. These are made in Italy. And it is strung on, what is it strung on? Metal, I believe. Yep. It's strung on metal wire because the beads are heavy. I would wager that this weighs, let's put me back up on screen correctly. I would wager that this whole thing weighs about 4 or 5 ounces, maybe a little more. Yeah, it's gorgeous, but I can't keep it. I can't keep it. Okay. It's going down. I'm going to take a sip of water with this. I have more of a tickle in my throat today than I have this is the 4th day. Frank, are you doing well? Are you doing well? Is anyone else here got a cold or had whatever this stuff is that's going around? So far, I feel really fortunate that this is a very mild. When I got COVID, the one and only time I got COVID, I got the very mild variant. So I feel pretty good about that. Okay, this is going to start trying to see. Yeah, okay. This is going to start. Good. This is going to start at 15. See, so my Mondays, I go through faster, but even usually if I was not having a cold, I take my time and I talk about things, kind of like I just did with that necklace. It's just because I know that my body wants to rest, I'm moving a little fast. So this is a Sarah Coventry, and it's that beautiful MCM 1960s peace dove brooch, silver tone. Right? You all know what I'm talking about? Maybe you're not as old as me. And I grew up in Berkeley, California. So, this is that very stylized. Well, and you see it at Christmas time. You see it in a lot of decor to do with the Bible, Israel. It's just that stylized movement of a bird, but they used it as the dove of peace. And this is so MCM. I don't know if this was made during the 60s or the 70s. It could have been made in the 80s. I'm not positive, but based on the movement In the shape, I'm going with early 70s because history speaks volumes as to what this is. And it's a big size. It's a big size. And yet it's not super heavy, but it's not super lightweight. And it is just silver tone, but it's absolute. It just, talk about nostalgia. For me, talk about perfect timing. We need a peace dove. We need an olive branch, right? I just love the movement. And it's meant to be, I mean, the wings are curved. The tail is pushed in. And I'll give you a measurement and then I'll move on. From wingtip to wingtip, it is 2 at the top, 2.5 on the bottom, and from head to tail, 3. So there you go. Thank you for looking. And remember, I don't do a recap. I don't do recaps. So if anyone is interested in anything, speak now, look now, or email me if you're rewatching. Things are available for up to 5 days. So let's do this, for which I don't know a lot, but oh my God, I love it. And just a hint, everyone, if you give me a thumbs up, if you subscribe to my channel, and if you don't do any of that, if you just engage in the chat with me, it gives me a lot more energy. So look at this. Starts at 35. At 35, I believe that I'm making a very small profit. This is sterling silver. Let's bring the ring light back. Hola, Maritza. This is sterling silver, costume jewelry. It is adjustable. It is beautiful in design. Those are just rhinestones, and that is glass, green glass, but look how nicely it's cut. I am going to go out on a limb here and make an assumption that it is check glass, because this is an adjustable costume jewelry ring, but it's sterling silver. So the quality of this, they wouldn't have just thrown in any old green glass. And now it is open in the back to let the light shine through. It is cut very nicely. And where is it? I found it last time. I will find it again. This is hot off the presses of something I bought to bring to you all. Is it in the back? Okay, now I'm... Yeah, that does make sense. Why would you put an adjustable sterling silver? You would put very high quality. Or why bother? Oh, good Lord. Here I am. It's in here. Ah, there it is. Pain in the butt. You're not going to be able to see it because it's so worn. This is probably from the 60s. It is so worn. It was loved and worn a long time. It says sterling silver over here. I bought this from someone who's reputable, who tests it. So I absolutely know that it is. Okay. And I on my channel, I know 80% about a whole bunch of stuff, and 20% I don't. And that's why I like my chat to be learning with me, to educate me. If I am wrong, I want you to tell me I'm wrong. If you buy something from me and you get it and then you say, what? That is not whatever, then you need to contact me, because I know just enough to be dangerous. It is 1 1/4 inches long and 3/4 of an inch wide. And I will tell you what size it is. Yes, exactly, Frank. See, I know just enough to be dangerous. But I have been doing this, selling costume jewelry, since the late 70s, and selling vintage costume jewelry since 2001 on eBay. So I've been, and other vintage items I've been picking up, researching them, collecting them. My husband had a vintage toy store and lunchbox store. They were on the cutting edge of getting lunch boxes. The old metal lunch boxes with thermoses became a fad in the 80s. They were on the cutting edge of that. So I've been around this business for a while. So it is, which makes me know just enough to be dangerous. It is 8. Listen to me. I have a cold. I do this anyway. It is not 8 inches long. No, it is not. It's a size 8. It's a size 8. And because it is adjustable and it's still in really good shape, you could make it up to a 9. Okay? You could. But I wouldn't do more than that. And I would be more comfortable keeping it at an 8 and leaving this be. Even though it's nice and thick, I don't like to push older sterling silver around a lot, because I've had beautiful cuffs like this that are on the thinner side snap because they're thin, and you keep putting them on and squeezing them, putting them on and squeezing them, and then they break. So here it is. And, you know, the only other thought I had about this, I'm seeing 1960s, is it could be a lot older than that. And that's all I'm going to say. You all decide on your own. It could be a lot older than that. Okay, it's going down. See, this is one of those 1 out of 10 things I really want to keep. Okay, I'm going to show one more piece of jewelry, and then I'm going to move back to some household items. And welcome in, and thank you, anyone who's shown up today. If you could give me a thumbs up, and if you can subscribe. If you're not, that would be fantastic. Let's see. What do I want to show you? Let's move to something completely different. Start choice. Start choice 12. This is a style of pen. One of these is from the 70s. One of these is probably contemporary. It's a style of pen that's been around forever. They're 2 little cat brooches. This one has the rhinestone kind of, oh, good Lord. Why am I losing the terminology for when it's in a necklace? Rondelle is not the right word, is it? I got a cold. With orange eyes and his whiskers. Standing on his tail. The brushed gold tone gives him a lot of detail. He is not signed. This is the one that I believe is from the 70s. And then This gunmetal gray little cat with the butterfly on his nose and a kinked tail is absolutely adorable. But I believe he's from the 90s, possibly, or she, possibly even newer. The only thing that gives me pause is the hook in clasp style instead of the safety clasp. Sometimes that's an indication that it's older, but I have no way of knowing. So it would be your choice for 12. One is a little smaller, one is a little bigger, but they're both around an inch something. Gold or gunmetal. Okay. Y'all are making this easy for me to go fast. Well, see, but Frank, I have so many things. I mean, I literally had purged almost all my collections except jewelry, and especially plastics. And then I found this community during COVID. And then I was like, well, I'm a caregiver, but I could go back into this business and still be a caregiver. So I did. And the amount of collections of stuff I have now, while they're all great and it's all resellable and it's whatever, it's a little out of control. Okay. Sorry, I have to drink a lot of water because I don't feel so good. I'm going to go back to a household item now. Okay, so this is going to start at 16. Whoops, what did I just do? It's the other thing. I'm very technologically challenged. I have almost 350 subscribers, and I have to get up to get this. I'm really waiting until I get to 500 subscribers and regularly have a large audience like this, such that I can have a mod, because I am technologically challenged and I am forever doing the weirdest things by accident that screw everything up. So this is a single green blown glass, but molded, so it's blown and then both sides are put together. Candle holder. This is beautiful. When I saw it, I questioned if it wasn't meant to be like a lid for a decanter, but it's not. Look at the bubble. See how it comes up in this bubble inside? And you see, it has feet. 3 very prominent feet. But now, see how it's more probably late 60s, because each side is in a mold. So it's not blown. Each side is in a mold, but this is almost encased. It's double walled, but then the two sides are put together. It's beautiful. The green on here is just gorgeous. There is some candle wax inside that was not cleaned out. If someone purchases this, I will clean it out, although I don't think it's a big deal. It would be great if there were 2 of these. There are not, but I don't think that matters. I would happily put this in the center of my coffee table, on my bedside table, in my bathroom, in the middle of my dining room table, and use it happily. And yeah, I think here we go with my words, Frank. I think the shape is sexy. That's just me. but I think it's sexy. So it is about as big as my head. So let's see. Generally your head is 8 inches. Let's see how that works. Yeah, exactly. And so it is 7 inches tall. Boom. Called that. So everyone's face, usually the head from here to here is 8 inches. Just a handy tip when you're trying to measure something. The bottom is 4.5 inches around. So, Frank, I would do worse than that. I wouldn't even put matching. I would put this one in something totally different, maybe even metal next to it, or over here on the coffee table, higher or lower, and I'd be happy. I'm very eclectic. So, and here's the inside. And I just love the encased, pulled up bubble double glass. So it's thin here, and then this is very thick. Yep. Yes, of all the electrical insulators. And how about 7-Up bottles? That gives it a very firm place marker. This color. Yeah. Okay. Oh. I go out of my way. I mean, I match, but my decor matches. Like if you ever see the background at my homestead, Frank, it matches, but just because it's all vintage and antique and maybe the color waves are similar in similar spots. Like even my Fiesta ware that I bought in the 2000s with coupons, it was a repop. All the plates are different colors. All the serving bowls are different colors. All the coffee mugs are different colors. All the bowls are different colors. So, I mean, that's the world I live in. That is the world I live in. Okay. This is beautiful. I'm really hoping all the detail comes through on this incredible. It's not just a quartz crystal. It's much more than that. But because I have a cold at this moment, I am forgetting the name. Look at all the color that comes through. You see all the inclusions. Look at this. This is a beautiful specimen. Look at that. So to me, these are like giant marbles. And I do have a jar of vintage marbles. These are like giant marbles that you pick up and you hold in the light and you just fidget with it and look at it every which way. And it is a yellow. There you go. It is a yellow with opalescent quartz. It's gorgeous. Look at it. I mean, that's what I can say about it. It's beautiful. It starts at 22. It is 1.5 inches in diameter. It's heavy. It's beautiful. So I had this. See, here's the eclectic. Here's the candle holder. It's now become a crystal ball holder. Period. And look at all the pink that's in there. God, that's beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, totally. This one is just like that. So see, this has become something entirely different. And I like it better. I'm all about the eclectic. Okay. As long as I'm reaching back there, I'm going to do something. Oh, no, it is in order. Good. Okay. Just going to put my hair up. I may have a very slight fever with this cold, but if I do, it's just starting. And again, I don't have like a huge sore throat or a huge runny nose or just kind of a lethargy. It's weird. But I'm happy that it's not worse. Believe me, I have not, knocking on wood, I have not been really, really sick in, I think, like 7 years. And I would like to keep it that way. Okay, these start at 65. These actually got me started on this whole theme of, today's theme would be MCM. These are from the early 60s, late 50s. This is brass, full, complete brass. It's not covering anything. And this black is steel. It is the crossed arrows look, right? With probably this is the target. They're heavy. The bottom is lined with felt. I have no idea what that is. Literally, it's very interesting. It says 8131 XT plus. I think this was like either a booth or an estate sale ticket that was not taken off. So they're both covered in black velvet because they're bookends. They're heavy. There's 2 of them. They're heavy. They're incredible. If you have books, if you want to decorate something and put your books in here, these are what you want. I'm surrounded by books right now. I grew up in a house of books. I read nonstop up until 10 years ago. I mean, when I was little, I read, the limit at the library was 13 books. I read 13 books a week as a teenager. I'm not kidding. 13 books a week. These are fabulous. If you don't use them as bookends, put them on the ends of your table just to look cool, and put something else right here. I mean, use your imagination. And up at my homestead, I have the matching smaller 3 arrows that goes with this, that's supposed to be in the middle and holds like a crystal ball, which I don't have, but I put the shell ball up there. These are just stunning. Each one of these probably weighs almost a pound by themselves. I mean, these are MCM. That is what they are. They are, and they're like, there's a little bit of nicks on the black paint or the black covering on the steel, but the brass is perfect. 7, 9.5 inches tall, about, and 5.5 inches wide with the brass book plate, you know, that you put under the books, the plate that goes under the books, and 2.5 inches wide on the plate that goes under the books. Now, I still have books. I have them on particular genres like like birding, minerals, recognizing native flowers, some nonfiction and some fiction, my journals, multiple other things that, I could happily use these to decorate with. But I've been giving my friends an opportunity to take them off my hands. So 65. And I do have and these are online, but there's not that many of them. And I do have the triple arrow one that matches these. So if you were to buy these, that one is up at my homestead, and it is $23, I believe that I said. And I could get it for you and mail it to you when I go back up there in 4 or 5 weeks. And then you would have the epitome of an MCM set of brass and steel. The crossed arrows was like it was popular in MCM, but it started during the Harvey era, when the Harvey houses along the railroad tracks were making up symbols of, what Native Americans should put on things. They didn't have a crossed arrows to my knowledge, but that's just something he decided should be a Native American detail. So here we are. I just learned that on Schlimp Designs. Colette Schlimp, as in SLEMP, and I'm probably saying it incorrectly. Okay, this is going to start at you know what, Frank? You can try to be as good as you want. I am right there with you. I still spend money. This, Colette, yes. Oh, good. Okay. Thank you. That's what I said. I have a whole collection, and I had just gotten rid of it, but I want to tell you and I still buy. I tell myself all the time, I'm not going to purchase. I don't need anything, blah, blah, blah. And then I buy anyway. I buy several items a week, but I make sure that more than half is to resell. And then the other things that I finally have a collection of items that really speak to me, that I really resonate with. And I don't care if my adult daughter doesn't like them, or, my friends. I love it. And when I go and I look at my collections and I play with them, I feel happy. And, my whole life I decorated with things that other people had, that, except for my small collections in my curio cabinets. And I don't do that anymore. I decorate, I'm old enough and I earn the right to decorate with what I think is great. So that's what I do. 30. Okay, this is contemporary. I will put it first on Dolly. Exactly, Frank. And also, in doing what I've done mostly my whole life, and now again, we are repurposing and reusing, which isn't that what we do to save the planet? We don't just throw it in the dang dump and bus it over to someone else's country to ruin their country. Okay, so this is a fascinating item. It is very heavy. It is a very heavy necklace. It is contemporary. It's got a lot going on. I don't know what it is. I just got it recently. I will take it off, Dolly, and let you check it out. I don't know what it is. Now, when I say that, I mean, I don't know what stone this is. Here's the clasp. It's just a toggle clasp, and it's showing backwards at the moment. So there you go. Now I'm going to show this to you because I'd like to know, what is it? It's blue. It's like a navy blue, but inside it's not just navy blue. It's got white streaks. It's got like a black. Where's a good one that I can find that maybe will show? It's hard sometimes to show these things. Okay, look at this. Do you see those two top? Look at the top. You see how it's blue and it's brown and it's black and it's opalescent as they cut into the stone? Do you see that? So, does anyone know what stone this is? This probably weighs a pound or more. Yeah, maybe you were where I was when I bought it, Frank. But for the life of me, what is that? It's beautiful. So this is not just some round disc blue stone, with these beautiful pearl beads in between. It's some type of actual stone. Was it dyed and then carved? I don't know. But when I saw this, because I do buy from other resellers when I see a good deal, and then I bring it up to what it should be. Like, okay, this is without going full retail. I don't charge full retail ever, or at least I try not to. This has a streak of brown. I think it's gorgeous, and I just want to know, what is it? Oh, Frank, you can come on my channel and sell with me. Don't be afraid. And see down at the bottom, see all that white striping going on? So I just had this thought. Is it agate that's been dyed, but then also sliced so it shows like the brown colors? It's very, very heavy for agate, but maybe not. I don't know. So, I mean, it's not very long, and I'm not going to I put everything on my computer to measure, but that is so heavy that, knowing me, I'm going to put it on my mouse pad and it's going to disappear me. It's happened before. 7, 8. It's about 8 inches long on each side, so 16 inches. So it probably, the middle round stone would hit me 16 inches is right about here. Right about here. Let's try to show you what it looks like on my neck. Why not? I can't wear, I bought this to resell. I can't wear things that are this heavy. Look at how incredible this is. And it's got, the way it's cut, it's got tons of movement, and each piece has all this different coloration. So every time you move, it captures the light. So if you were wearing, a t-shirt, I talk about that a lot, or a small, or a dress, a sundress, in just this, with a small pure pierced pair of earrings or no earrings at all. That's all you need. Yep. And it comes to right where I said it would. Yeah. Lapis. You think it's lapis, Kathy? If it's lapis, it's worth like many hundreds of dollars. Kathy, if this is lapis, this would be worth like, I don't know, $300 because it's okay. I'm sorry, y'all. I have to do this, even though I'm sick. And I know y'all are like, get on with it, get on with it. But I have to do this now. I'm going to weigh this. Because if this was lapis, it's worth so much money. It's ridiculous. It is 11 ounces of lapis. 11 ounces. So if this is lapis, and you know, I mean, the blue is the lapis lazuli color. Yeah. Yeah, it is. So for $30 for this much lapis, and I mean, I wanted to say that, but I didn't. So I was waiting for someone else to say it. You're getting like a $200, $300 necklace. Just saying. Just saying, y'all. And when other people, it's going down. When other people start confirming my suspicions about something and what it is, and then its value, then I dig further in my research, and then in 5 days from now, my price will probably go up, even if I have to sit on it for a while. One day I'll get back to listing on eBay. I could be listing on Knickknacks. I'm approved over there, but it's just too much work. And being a caregiver right now, I can't do it. Lapis, huh, Kathy? Okay. I'm going to check that out. Let's get rid of that $30 start price for what very likely is 11 ounces of beautiful lapis. And thank you all to everyone that is here or who has come in. I appreciate you greatly. Thank you, everyone who is hitting the thumbs up and everyone who is engaging in the chat. Yes, Kathy, see, that's the problem. I am not a gem and mineral person. So I'm studying it a lot. I spend a lot of time researching and studying all these semi-precious stones. So I'm getting, sorry, y'all. So I'm getting, my chair will not move. I give up. I'm way back here now. So I'm becoming more knowledgeable, but I don't want to tell people that something is one thing and then, it's not. I just don't. So I would rather err on saying, do you know what this is? And maybe it's that. Okay, so this is for this 1960s. And it's so skinny. You know what? Oh, this is copper. What does it say inside? Just copper. Oh, Frank, I can help you with that. You can do it. So this is a copper cuff. It is very thin. You see how thin it is? So I'm going to say that this is from the 1970s. based on how paper thin it is, after watching Colette, I'm thinking it could actually be older than that. And this detailing right here is very similar to a lot of other sterling silver items I've had lately. See how thin? So this could go back to the 30s. That's it. That's what it is. It's a really nice vintage piece. It goes on my wrist because it's been open so wide. Super easy. My wrist is a 7.5. This is practically falling off. So I would say this would fit the way it sits right now at 8.5, which is the high end of a lady's medium or a gentleman's small. I will give you the opening. Oh, seriously, Frank, you can email it me if you want. So it says that the opening is 2.5 inches from side to side, but it is so loose on me, and 2.5 inches is, is like this, a 7.5. So I'm starting to get this a lot. I really have to get a bracelet, whatchamacallit. Cuffs are different, but still. And then from front to back, 2 inches. Cuffs are different than a bracelet, but most of the time when I have a bracelet and it's 2.5 to 2 3/4, it's a 7.5. But every once in a while I get a piece like this. See how wide it's opened? And it doesn't line up in that. This is a size 8.5 right now. And this is so thin. Heads up on this for starting at 14. This is so thin that I think it's older than the 70s. And this is not something I would adjust, squeezing it shut and open constantly, because I had a very old, thin sterling silver piece with almost the same design from the Fred Harvey era that I did that with. And even though silver is malleable, it had a weak spot and it broke in half. So if you're going to do anything and you're going to close it, I would do it one time to bring it down to just where it goes on and off, and I would leave it alone. Okay? That is my sage advice. Okay. Oh, I can't move my chair. Maybe I can move the computer. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm happy everyone's here. I'm not happy that I'm not bringing anything that anyone wants to purchase. That's not good. I thought I did a pretty good job today with putting things together, but now I'm feeling like, well, I don't know. And with having a cold, we'll see if I get through everything. So that brings me back to, if there's anyone here who saw my preview and is interested in anything in particular, I need you to drop it in the chat soon, because I'm fading and I'm not making sales, and my time is money, and I got a cold. So, okay, this is a really fascinating, it's like brutalist and modernist at the same time. I'm pretty sure the research I remember is that this was made in, I'm so sorry, the late 60s. The maker is, this is a higher end vintage costume jewelry maker, and there's not a lot out there. GOBETTA is what I believe it is. This is I found a couple of this maker's pieces. And until I got my hands on this piece, I had never seen that name before. Now, this is a lot lower than I started it last time. These go for, it is signed on the back twice. Here, and God bless America, sorry. Here and there. These go for $60. Here is the top filigree for the chain. It is just your basic hook closure. This chain is very well put together and textured really nicely. It's very long. Then it comes down to this. Now you can see why I'm saying brutalist and modernist. That is why I chose to include it in today's theme of kind of the MCM. Look. It goes on and on. Look at that. Is that not fascinating? Look this up. Look this up. It seriously, it's so well made. It's incredible. I'm sure this probably cost at least that brand new. And you see, yeah, brutalist, modernist. Look at it. And the gold tone is, I mean, it's just every single piece. Even the jump rings are done really, really well. See how these are hollowed out? I mean, it's the maker. And then this long, this is so long. This is so long. I remember it being like, God, Lord have mercy, 36 inches or something. See that? It's beautiful. Goes down to right here. Almost at the bottom, but not quite. It is, and it's heavy, but it's not super heavy. This is a very unique, this is a highly sought after designer. And yeah, and you're not going to find this in the wild very often at all. You can look it up on eBay. The fact that it goes way down to here, I'm just going to call it 36 inches. It's beautiful, beautiful designed piece. Even these links have the carving raised texture to emphasize the brutalist look. And it's gold. See back here? It's gold. It's not washed out. It's bright and blinding. Starts at $28. Very inexpensive for this. And, you know, I try to not Sometimes I ask 2/3 of what something costs, but I try to never ask more than half. But given the fact I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area, I do have to mark things up at times. But I never, or very, very rarely would I ever ask full price. Because I want you to feel that, you got a good deal. And I want you to be able to do what I do. I buy from all over the place. I mean, I go out to estate sales. I go to antique malls. I go to the flea markets. I go to but I also look at other resellers. And if there's something I think I can make a profit on, I will buy it. And I want you, my friends, to be able to do the same thing that I do. If you bought that at that price, you could still turn around and make a profit, especially if you list, and if you have a good following. Okay. So where am I going to go now? I'm going to do one more piece of jewelry, and then I'm going to do a few household items. And I'm going to see if anyone, so far, nobody has typed in anything in the chat that they're, interested in anything in particular. So I'm just going to keep moving along. But I don't think I'm going to do that many more items. I'll tell you that. My body wants to rest. So I'm, and it takes a lot to put a sale together. You have to get the items, decide which are right. Do they all go together? Does it matter? What's a display going to look like? Am I having a theme? Okay, so does this match the theme? You have to buy the items. You have to clean the items. It's a lot of work. So then when you come on and you're on for a while and nobody buys anything, it's kind of like, well, it's cool. Nobody has to buy. You don't have to ever buy, but I can go rest. All right, check this out, y'all. I did a short on this one. Did anyone see my short? Does anyone know what this is? It's a test. This is a test question. Hey, Apple. Hello, 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 lady. What's going on? You just got home from work? I bet you're tired and cold. Maybe hungry too. So, does anyone know what this is? Did anyone see my short on this? It is a brooch, Apple. Very good. It is a brooch. It is cherry bakelite Art Deco brooch. The metal here is stamped. It is stamped metal on the top. But it is a Art Deco cherry red bakelite brooch. It is so freaking cool. When I got this in my hands, I paid a little for it. But when I got this in my hands and I touched these, I was like, what? Wait a minute. And then I looked at it and listened to them and touched it more. Then I went and tested it, knowing what the results would be. And sure enough, it is a beautiful, bright red cherry bakelite brooch. Art Deco. See how far the pin back comes out? All the way to here. And this is just stamped metal, but they did stamped metal even back in Victorian times, because once they discovered that they could do the stamp metaling instead of always hand cutting pieces, especially if it wasn't sterling silver, many manufacturers immediately gravitated towards that. Much cheaper for them. It is like angel wings with flowers. That's what I see. And then these hanging Bakelite. So there's with these finial caps. And look at you see the metal here? It's old, serious, strong loops of metal. No wimpy little jump rings. The finial caps are just finial caps. A few of the finial caps, these little round things, have gotten pushed up because they're chintzy. And I just pushed them right back down. It's no big deal. So there's 5 on each one of these 3 hanging things. So there's 15 of these cherry red balls altogether. And I promise, I tested it for Bakelite. And because I can't find another one just like this, Apple. But I did lots of research because I hate to come on and say something is something and then it's not. And I didn't test just one of these. I tested like 7 of these because I wanted to be so positive that I knew what I was talking about. And I do, because plastic's my number one favorite thing. And I can touch these. I can tap them. Let me be quiet for a minute. And I can tell it's Bakelite. I can tell by touching them. I can tell by smelling it. I mean, it's incredible. And it's got so much movement. My God, I love it. Okay, let me give you a measurement. Yeah, tell Sabrina I have it. Tell her to watch this. I should do that. This thing it's like a hallelujah. I brought, last Monday, I brought those Weiss Bakelite with Austrian rhinestones, clip-on earrings. I was so excited, and I thought for sure someone would scoop them up. Didn't happen. I was like, why? It's only $35. What? So they glow? Does Bakelite glow, Apple? This is very hard to get a read on. I have it flat on my computer, and it wants to tell me it's 3 inches long, but because it's flat, it could be up to 3.5 inches long. And then the top metal part is 3 inches across. Yeah, I have a thing here, but I mean, like, this is Bakelite bracelet that I'm wearing. This brown carved one. I never knew. Let's take it off. Let's find out. Bakelite was never one thing. It's never something that I thought glowed. I don't really think that's a glow. Well, Apple, you have me all confused now. I mean, there's a color happening, but it's really just the purple on this. I know this is Bakelite, the bracelet. It's really a purple with a little bit of opalescence, if you will, right? I'm trying to show things that glow. No matter what it is, it's next to impossible. Okay, so at any rate, there's no green. I don't think Bakelite has like a cadmium or a uranium in it that glows. But, I could be out of my mind. And I don't see any kind of glow on these. I Hi, Noelle. How are you? Thank you. Hi, Noelle. Hi, Noelle. Thank you, Noelle. I was like, I don't know. I've been like dealing in plastics for years. But does Bakelite, one of my favorite plastics, glow? It's like, this is really cool. I was learning something from Apple. So what I want to say to Apple is, scratch what you asked. I was going to say, Apple, don't ever scratch. Don't ever do that hot pin test to see if it smells, because you're ruining the piece. In the 80s, it was real popular for people to heat up a sewing needle and stick it in the inside of a bracelet to see if it made that camphor smell. And then they made holes in all this stuff. All you need to do is get some 409. Here in California, we don't sell semi-chrome because it's a forever chemical. All you need to do is get some 409 or the semi-chrome if you live in other states that allow forever chemicals, and put a tiny bit on a Q-tip. And if it turns a yellow and it's not just filthy dirty, it's Bakelite. And I did that over and over again on this piece, and it consistently turned yellow. It also has the smell of camphor. I see Noelle is in at $40. Hello, Noelle. Noelle's not on a spending ban. Hi, Noelle. Noelle, if you purchased anything, I'm going to say fair warning. Whoops. Noelle, if you purchased anything from me while I was up at my homestead, I'm invoicing everything out tomorrow. I came back down to my father's and he went into the emergency room the next day. And then I had to spend a couple days dealing with that. And then now I've been sick for 3 days. And I had to take him early this morning. So tomorrow is invoice day. Okay. Fair warning, if anyone is interested in this besides Noelle, you need to come in at 41 or higher. Fair warning was done. Last call is happening. I'm about to say sold. Noelle, I love this piece. I love this piece. Sold to Noelle. It is, congratulations. This thing is right up your alley, Noelle. It's gorgeous. Let me write on here. Good for you. Noelle. Okay, you'll visit. Okay, and then did you buy anything over the last 2 weeks, Noelle? I don't think you did, but if you did, it'll all go in the one box to save you on shipping, okay? But this is week 1 of my 2-week build-a-box. This is week 1 of my 2-week build-a-box. So, for instance, Noelle, I don't know that you like to wait 2 whole weeks. So if you want me to bill you after this week, it'll be out of sequence with everything else, but I will. Okay. But I will. Okay. Back to what was I doing? Lord only knows. I don't know anymore. Let's do these. And then I'm going to do a couple housewares and then I'm going to be done. Thank you so much again, Noelle. I don't think you did either. I don't think while I was gone up to my homestead that you purchased anything. So, just checking. Squirrel. Kathy, I got to get rid of this start for 40. Kathy, what's a squirrel? Why won't it? There you go. Who's squirreling? Kathy. No idea. Kathy, that's a very random to say, oh, very right. Her spirit animal is a squirrel running around gathering nuts, dropping branches and pine cones on your head. I don't know. These start at 24. These do not have a maker. These are older. I think they go back to the 30s. Even though it's supposed to be on an MCM theme. Could be the 50s. Could be 50s, but there's a reason why I feel like 30s. And they're clip-on earrings. They're stacked up with all this beautiful, I'm going to do one at a time. The look of grapes and the leaves and this work. I did not do my research on these, but based on the tarnishing on the back, I really feel they're 30s. I also I could see these as Victorian, but I'm not going to claim that. I believe this was probably a pretty high-end maker because there's so much detail. So let's get into that for a second. First off, let's look at how tall it's stacked. They're just faux. We'll get back to the front in a minute. Here is the back. Now, so it's just the, cut metal. Then you've got all that stuff wired in to it, so it'll stay on. You see what I mean about the beginning of the tarnishing down to the pot metal? Does that say anything? It's almost like a symbol in there, but I think it's not. You can feel a little bit of roughness of the metal right there. Now, so this is all wired and or glued and prong set. There's multiple things going on here. These are faux blue pearls. Pink, cream, white. Here's the leaf with the rhinestone, white rhinestone, very clear. Here is cream colored pearls, mauve, more rhinestone. It's just gold. Are those actually, is that metal or gold pearls? Nope, those are little gold faux pearls as well. Yeah, and there's a long leaf going through like this. I think these are older than the 50s for spirit apple. Pretty nice, huh? I think they're just absolutely beautiful. They're very lightweight. Very lightweight. I put these in my MCM sale, and I have a whole bunch of stuff set aside for a quote like more Victorian sale. These should have gone. These should have gone in my Victorian sale. Now that I'm staring at them a little longer. Now, Noelle, are they identical? Oh, hold on. Identical. I mean, yes and no. Yes, essentially, yes. Hold on. I know they're a little hard to see. The other thing I need to get, let me try this, is the little stick that you hold up where you can clip or loop the earrings over. Yeah, I need to do that. I'm working on all that, and I really want a Presidium. I just don't have $350 yet. So I'm going to try this. So at least let's look at the bottom. It seems very blurry all of a sudden. Am I blurry? I hope not. I don't think that helps. Noelle, does that help? I don't think that helps. yeah, Noelle. So let me show one and then the other. Here's one. And here's two. So they really are identical. They've been around a while. And so there's parts of them that are just a tiny bit rough because they've been around, but they are identical, okay, in design. All right, so these are going to go down, start at 24. How long are they? I didn't even tell you. I think they're opposite. What's opposite, Kathy? I don't know what's opposite. I'm sorry. Anyway, and I'm going to bring these back when I do my Victorian Monday theme. They have a lot going on. And all these little pearls, a lot of these little pearls, I should say, are actually wired on. And then other of the faux pearls are glued on. And then there's a stack with the leaf. It's a whole thing. And they are a little rough. I want to be really clear about that because you see that thin wire here. There's just multiple ways in which these were put together. So, and there is the tarnishing because the pot metal is coming through on the back. So I don't want you to be, oh, thank you, Kat. I don't want you to be disappointed, Noelle. Because if anyone, fair warning, watches Noelle like I do, not only in my sales, but in other people's sales, she has a great eye. And I can only, if anyone wants to, they have to come in at 25 or higher. Fair warning, now we're on last call. I would love to see Noelle's collection. She has a fantastic eye. And she buys some of my most unique, interesting pieces fairly often. She's a girl after my own heart. Sold to Noelle for 24. Thank you, Noelle. I love these. Let me put these in a bag right now. They are rough, but man, they're just they just have that thing going on. They're rough, but they are, I've been rewatching oh, you posted on Pinterest, Noelle. I've been rewatching The Gilded Age recently, and it's not so much the plot. I just stare at everyone's outfit and their jewelry and the things around their house, and and I learn a lot. Bird cages. Noelle, can you email me your handle on Pinterest? I would love to check out what's going on over there, girl. Then thank you again. Seriously. I mean, I don't think on Pinterest, I don't know. I only use Pinterest like when I'm researching stuff. But but I don't know like people's handles, like here on YouTube, my handle is Lucinda Walker, AKA blah, blah, blah. Same thing on Instagram is, Fantastic Finds. But what is it on Pinterest? Just like on YouTube, unless I made an account, Fantastic Finds, yeah, that's not my name. On Facebook, that's not my name. So anyway, just get back to me if you would. I would love to see it. Okay. So I'm going to do this and this, and then I'm going to do my last household goods. Noelle, are you warm and safe where you are? Not snowed in? Healthy? Not sick? Everything's good? Okay. All right. I'm going to check it out. I'm making a note of that because you've mailed me. I'm sick. I'm sorry. You have emailed me a couple pictures of the few little things that you were talking about, but I can just imagine what you have going on. Hey, George, welcome in. How are you? This starts at 47. 47, and here is the artist name. This is 925. Here is the 925. It is sterling. This is the artist's signature. For crying out loud, I have forgot who it is, but sorry about that. It is nice and thick. It is painted on a ceramic tile. If you take a screenshot of this and you look this up, this artist, he's an artist from the early 1900s. And I think it was starting in the 60s or 70s. They started putting his art on pendants, these paintings. They started putting it on pendants. And there's quite a few different ones. And he painted in like a modernist, I forgot the style. But you can look it up. You'll find them. These sell for up to $80. I paid up for it, so I have to ask a little bit more from you. It's got a nice big place to put a chain. I like that apple. It's a big one, and I think she's beautiful. And look at her bottom. She got a round Rubenesque bottom. I like that. You don't always have to be this, tiny. I'm not tiny. And I'm Rubenesque. And I'm gorgeous. 2.5 inches long. A little over 1.5 inches wide. So take a screenshot. Look this artist up. Very well known. This piece is from the 70s. And I know that this is an older piece. This company is still in existence, but this particular piece is an older piece, okay? And it is fired onto a ceramic tile, one of his paintings, with sterling silver at 925. Okie dokie. Now, I'm going to show this. Ooh, you know what sounds really good? This is so weird. This just popped into my head. Top ramen. I never eat stuff like that. That's a good indication to me that I have a cold, which I know I do, and my body is saying, have some soup. I don't even think I have top ramen. I haven't had that in a long time. But I want it right now. Okay. This starts at 22. This is a very interesting thing to me. I don't think it's old. Well, actually, in looking at the clasp, I take that back. It's definitely older. And how, based on the clasp, I'm not exactly sure how old. Hold on, I'm trying to. Wow. Okay. Let me show you the clasp, then I'll put it on Dolly. And there looks to be some writing on the clasp. See that? Where it's thick, you use your finger to pull that open. That's the clasp. And it looks like it has a writing, and it might say 925. Okay. But it's very small, and I'm not going to take time to try to figure that out right now. But what I liked about this was these. Now, these are more of like, there you go, a resin. They're not wood, but they're also much older. Then you have this beautiful lemon yellow, older blown glass beads. And this, let me get down to one of these. This is just some silver tone, crimped over, rolled over metal that was used. I feel strongly that this is from like the Asian part of the world, maybe East Indian. Boy, I just got really pixelated. And then these are beads that are glazed and painted with gold fritz and white on black. Even the jump rings, look how well put together it is. So see, that's what changed my mind about it being more contemporary. And it goes down. Here's another one of these with the floral beads. And you see how, I mean, they're worn. These, even though they feel like a resin, and they don't tap like a wood. They could, but they're heavy. It's possible it's some type of very light stone. This has a finial on it, like as if there was yet one more piece right here. And the whole vibe of this is not so much East Indian, but close to it, because it may be Italian, maybe it's a mystery. I think this probably had like either a yellow bead, but see, it had a jump ring. Like a cross on it. Like, was this a very short prayer bead necklace? So I'm not wearing them today, but I wear my prayer beads that are typical Hindu or Buddhist beads that you go round and round and round like you do a rosary and you pray, right? This doesn't have the things you can hold on to and count, especially because this is here. But these beads, that style, that's why I'm saying that. I don't know. It's a mystery, but I like it. It's lightweight. It's pretty. The beads are older. I don't know if it was, thank you, Kathy. I don't know if it was put together again recently, but I don't think so. That's older. All of this is older. And I mean older like 60s. This clasp is potentially older than 60. So then what I get to, this is what I do on Fridays, and I do it on Mondays too. Then what I get to is this potentially a bunch of older beads from different type of jewelry that was taken apart, and these really nice construction was done in more modern times from older pieces? I don't know. I really don't know. What I should do is take a screenshot of these floral beads with the leaves and try to figure it out from there. I know that the yellow glass beads are older, like blown glass, late type of, not trading beads isn't the right word, but in that genre. And then these painted gold glitz Fritz beads are, from like the European, Italian part of the world. And then I'm lost after that. So that's what I've got. I'll tell you how long it is, and then we'll move along. Yeah, and there's more writing on the clasp over there as well. But it's too small, and I just... 12 inches on each side with the drop. So, so if I had it on 12 inches, this is impossible. I got to do it on the other side. Sorry. 12 inches would probably come to right around where my Ganesh is. Right around here. Maybe a little longer. That doesn't seem quite right. I'm going to go with here. Yeah. So anyways, I just thought it was a really interesting thing. And it makes me curious. So I bought it. Okay. Okay. I'm going to show 2 household items. And then I'm going to call it. I'm done with jewelry for the day. I do have, if someone saw my preview and there was an item you were interested in that I did not show and you want me to show it, drop it in the chat now. Okay? Because there's just, how many? 1, 2, well, there's about 8 or 9 jewelry items left in my basket. And I just don't feel well enough to keep carrying on. Whoa! I do need my pen, and it just went flying down onto the floor. Sorry. I do need my pen. I'm not even showing... excuse me for a minute. I'm not even showing all the, vintage household that I brought because I just can't. I don't quite. I'm just not quite up to it. I'm not super sick, but the other thing I've learned as I age is when you feel sick, even if it's just something that's mild, don't push it unless you have to. Rest. Drink a lot of fluids. Drink pressed juice. Do whatever you got to do. But don't push it, because that's how you end up getting really sick, like we all do in the holidays. Okay, so this starts at 16. I hope this is showing up. It is, the coloring over here is all wrong. Is it right? It's kind of okay. It's a regular dark green. It is, and it's got different, some is lighter, some is brighter because of a light glaze over top. It's lined. You can feel the lines through it. It's got gold paint here. That where it's cut in, it's got like a black to highlight the green. It is this fantastic MCM shape. It is thin. It doesn't weigh much of anything. It is beautiful. There's that word I use all the time. Beautiful. It's about 9 inches tall. And I mean, this is a type of item that would have been in my parents' little hippie house when I was growing up. You know, on the mantle with like an incense burner next to it. With like the velvet couches. So MCM. And I mean, there's not a lot more I can say about it. There's no chips, cracks, fading, nothing. I couldn't believe it when I found this because I was born in the 60s, and this is so the 60s. There it is. And like I said, it is, well, look at that. I better measure it. I bet it's 10 inches because my head is 8. 7. Yep, 10 inches tall. And the bottom is 3 1/4. Ta-da! Okay. I want to put this back here. Is anyone interested in a jar of vintage marbles? Let me know. So that was 16. The base started at 16. Is anyone interested in a jar of vintage marbles for $20? It's about probably 25 marbles in there. Okay. This starts at 21. Thank you to everyone that's come in. I appreciate it if you could give me a thumbs up and maybe subscribe. That helps me a lot. A lot. And engaging in the chat, all of you who have been talking to me, I really appreciate it. This is spectacular. Spectacular. It's a planter. Duh. Look at the heavy weeping gold on this. I mean, it's heavy. It's some of the heaviest weeping gold I've ever seen. And they even managed to do it where there's 2 colors. Do you see how it's right here? It's darker than right here. So it's dark, light, dark, light, dark. Look at that. This is so good. And I collect planters. Okay. I collect planters. But I mainly, believe it or not, collect the kitschy little kids' nursery planters. And my daughter thinks that's really crazy. She's like, what? Hi, Anna. I haven't seen you in forever. Hello. Welcome. How are you? My daughter thinks I'm like completely out of my mind collecting nursery planters. But there's just something about the little, you know, all the poodles and the circus clowns and the, sorry if you're clownophobic, the cats, the little kids, the wagon trains and the primary colors. I love them. Now, I also love planters like this. This is in incredible condition. It's just because since I started all these new collections, I don't need to also have a collection of weeping gold planters, right? No, I don't. But someone does, and this is a beauty. Even the bottom is covered in weeping gold everywhere except the feet. Yeah. The sides, I mean, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4 tiered. It's very Roman to me. Let me give you a measurement. It's about 8 inches across, and it is 2.5 inches deep and 3 inches tall with the feet. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece. So I don't do recaps. So I think that the last item, okay, let's ask the chat. I'm going to do a last item. I don't do recaps. So if you saw my preview and you came in because you're hoping that I'm going to show it again or it didn't sell, please drop it in there now in the chat that you are interested in ... from my preview. If you've just come in, you can put your thing on really fast, and just blow through and drop in the chat an item that you'd like to look at, because it's a lot that is available. That happens to me, and hopefully one day it won't. Or it's also, I've noticed across the board, resellers are having, it's the end of January. That's tax season time. It's right after the holidays. It's a slow time for all businesses. So resellers across the board are having huge recaps, and I don't do recaps, but it's just stuff isn't selling right now. People don't have the money. They need to pay their taxes. So now, while y'all are thinking about that, if you just came in, why doesn't the chat vote and tell me, would you rather see another piece of vintage jewelry or a household good? Go. Tell me. What would you rather see? People who have actually communicated with me in the chat, if you are still here, put that you would like to see a piece of jewelry or a household. Really easy. Y'all can do that, right? You can put that in the comments. I guess not. Gabby, jewelry. Apple's household. Thank you. I'm like, I know you can do it. Okay. So I got 2 people who voted. Thank you, Kathy and Apple. I appreciate it. So I will do one of each. Okay. And then that's it. I got to go drink my juice and lay down. Okay. Let's do this. And I will do this first. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do that. Let's take this price away. I'm so sorry. Why is this price still up here? Apple, I know. I'm just going to do one of each. Okay, so this, whoever, I love this. I used to go to the thrift store. I used to wear these things to bed and sometimes to a party, depending. Yep. And I saw this and I so wished it had the pants. It doesn't. This is 50s, 60s all the way I love these things. I remember when all my mom's friends used to wear these, and your grandmas, I'm sure you do too. This is a bedtime shirt. It only has the 2 buttons on the top. It is not an underslip. It is in perfect condition. It has no staining under the armpits, any of that. It doesn't have a tag anymore, but it's just, your basic kind of cotton polyester type blend. It is baby blue. These are let me show you. These are 3/4 of a 3/4 sleeves, right? There's the front. It's long. Here's the back. I can't see you guys at all, so I don't know what's going on, but I want to show you. Here is the stitching. That is hand stitching, y'all. That is not machine. That's hand rolled, like the 1950s, 1960s scarves. It is hand rolled all the way around. The lace is also hand tatted on there. Yeah, it is. So, and I cannot tell you the exact size, but I'm going to do this. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to do this. I'm going to stand up and I'm going to show you. On me, I have too much going on top. This would have been too big for me when I was a size 36. It would have been too big. It is too small for me at a larger size than that. Yes, Apple. See, I used to wear stuff like this for everyday wear and to parties. And then you dress it up with maybe like, oh my God, where'd it go? Either one of these. Hold on. So I would say this is a medium, is what I'm trying to get to. A medium bust size and arm size. It's a medium. It's not a small and it's not a large. Could dress it up with this necklace I showed earlier. This beautiful, beautiful Italian encased multiple colors of hand-painted flower beads. You could just wear a simple, you could wear it with the lapis necklace or handmade lapis that I brought earlier. You could wear it with just a simple silver or gold chain. You could wear it to bed in the summer. I mean, it's your choice. It does have all the tucking on the back. And it started at 15. I just, I know this isn't everyone's cup of tea. But it just reminded me of both my childhood. And see, those are opalized little plastic buttons. Both my childhood and my teenage and young adult years. And I was like, I have to pick it up. Someone wants it. So there was my household good. Yeah, no, see, Apple, I like your style. It's like eclectic. It's like dress it up, dress it down, make it work, repurpose it. Like you see the vision. And I appreciate that. You see the vision. I've been this way my whole life. It's like, do what you want with it. Make it yours. Oh, Kathy. Kathy. Sorry about that. Yeah. I used to wear candies. The shoes candies. 5-inch heels. Totally sloped. It's all I wore from age 12 to 18. And they were like glued to my feet until I'd been dancing for about an hour. And then they just got flung off against the wall until I left at 2 a.m. I mean, I jumped fences in those things. They were just like an extension. I'm short. They were an extension of my body. Okay. So the last jewelry item, I mean, I did. There was like a 6-foot high fence. Me and my friends, I was like 13. I don't know what we were doing. Okay. Probably cutting school, doing something stupid because, I grew up in Berkeley and it was a stupid time. Something happened and we had to get over the fence. It was like, I'm only 5'3". It always reminds me of the Iggy Pop song. I'm only 5'1". I'm only 5'3". And I had to get over that fence, and I was in those candies, and I just whoop, whoop, and I was over. They were just a part of my feet. I don't know where this stuff comes from with me. It's just my life. One day I have to write a book. If you do, it's been a life. Okay. This is just a basic, right after the whole MCM, early 70s, gold, braided, rounded. Why do I pixelate sometimes? I have no idea why. What happened? I'll be fine, and then it gets really weird. So this is a bright gold, heavy, rounded, braided, as they call it, chain. There's the back. This was like in the 70s. This style was like everyone had to have it, right? It's short. It doesn't have a pendant or anything on it. It's not super heavy. It wouldn't cost much to ship depending on where you live. See, there's the gold tone. That's a better look than on my dolly. On my dolly, it really doesn't do it justice. Just that look. This was a unisex look. Those box chains and the rolled chains, both boys and girls, teenagers and young adults wore these all throughout the 70s. No maker. It's just gold tone. It's fairly short, but not too short. I bet it's a 16-inch. Let me give you the dimensions. And it's really shiny in person. It's not matte gold looking at all. 7. It's a little like 10.5 on each side, so 20 inches, and I will put it quickly around my neck just to give you an idea. I mean, so the thing about this, if you bought it and you were wanting to put a pendant on it, you would need to know how to buy or find at a thrift store or an estate sale a necklace you don't like and open the jump ring up, and it would need to be a little bit larger in size, and open that jump ring and put it on and close it with the item on it. It's really easy to do it with needle nose pliers. It's not a big deal, but you can't get something over that. Okay, this wasn't meant for that. This was meant to just be your Italian looking chain. It's just a simple chain. Not real gold, not real silver, just basic. But nice, sparkly, and your whole 70s vibe. Yep. And so, yeah, see, that's like, it said it was 10.5 inches, which is 20 inches. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Altogether, 20 inches. Yep, that's correct. All righty then. So that's what I have for today's Monday mod styling. I didn't bring everything. I apologize, but I don't always. And today I just don't feel well. So I appreciate all of you who have been here today. I appreciate everyone who's come in and said hello. I appreciate you checking my channel out. I'd appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up, you share my channel out, and if you subscribe just to help me with the algorithm. There is a lot of items still available. That is not unusual for me. I curate away and I bring things and I keep getting new things, but I also bring back the old. And stuff doesn't, I'm just starting to get the traffic I need after a year, a little bit more than a year on YouTube. And so that's okay. It's all good. I'm good with it. I enjoyed hanging out with all of you. And I will be back on Friday at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern to do my Friday show and tell, where I generally go slow and I take my time and, we drink a beverage and we chat about what I'm bringing and why I think it is what it is, where it's from, why I think it's from that age, etc., etc. So if you're interested in that, I'll see you on Friday. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate you all. Take care. Bye.